Aloha. I'm laughing because I was just telling Mike Benz, I was trying to tell him, hey, I'll give him some of my time because he's saying some really interesting things. Thank you so much. Have a seat. It's so great to be able to join all of you here today. This is an event I'm grateful to have been invited to year after year, and the scheduling just never worked out. And so I'm so glad to be able to come and to be able to greet you in person and just talk a little bit about the grave challenges that we face, yes, in the work that we're doing on a daily basis. It's very appropriate that I'm following Mike Benz in this because he's focused on a lot of the same things that we are focused on investigating and uncovering. But really the challenges that he is talking about are challenges that every one of us as Americans are facing. And the task is not just for a Mike Benz or for a certain agency to take on. This is a moment of opportunity in our country where we have to be very clear-eyed about the direct threats and challenges to our fundamental rights and liberties and freedoms and what we, the people, are going to do about it. When we look at how it came to be for me and for others who I serve alongside to be here and to be a part of this change, we go back to the 2024 election and look at how President Trump was reelected and sent back to the White House by a truly unique cross-partisan coalition of Americans who looked beyond labels and really were attracted to his message of putting the American people first. It was a resounding statement in his win of that election by a significant and historic margin, and it was a clear rejection of the status quo of the Washington elite, of political leaders who put their own self-interest ahead of the interests of the American people, and it was a demand for a government of, by, and for the people. So here we are about 7-8 months into this administration. President Trump has wasted no time in challenging this system, this broken system in Washington, and striking at its very root, delivering results for the American people to make our nation more safe, secure, prosperous, and free. I have the privilege of serving as America's 8th Director of National Intelligence, and President Trump has entrusted in me the mission and responsibility of overseeing the intelligence community, this sprawling network of agencies and entities that are charged with the task of providing timely and objective intelligence to the President and policymakers, free from politicization. Unfortunately, in my short 10 years here so far, we have already seen too many examples of politicization and weaponization of intelligence throughout our country's history. We look at where we are now. Over the last several weeks, we've declassified and released documents that exposed how President Obama and leaders in the intelligence community knowingly manufactured a false intelligence document after the 2016 election was done, after the American people said, no, we want Donald Trump to go and be our commander-in-chief, not Hillary Clinton. And this manufactured document alleged that Russia aspired to help President Trump win the election with the aim of undermining his presidency and usurping the will and the voices of the American people who sent Trump to the White House. When you look at some of the very same leaders who led this manufactured intelligence document, like James Clapper, also had a very direct hand in manufacturing intelligence on the weapons of mass destruction, the alleged weapons of mass destruction in Iraq to support George W. Bush's regime change war in Iraq. For me to be here as the 8th Director of National Intelligence and uncover how James Clapper and others like John Brennan manufactured intelligence to try to undermine President Trump's administration and presidency and the voices of the American people, and then go back to the founding of the Office of the Director of National Intelligence that came about as a result of the terrorist attack on 9/11 and the manufacturing of intelligence to support the regime change war in Iraq that George Bush led, is an interesting bookend where we find ourselves still dealing with these same issues of politicization and weaponization of intelligence.